Go.
So thank you so much for coming today. First, let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm Joan Stutes, Transamerica World Financial Group, and I help people find adventure money in their current budget and plant adventure money in their future budget. So we can get together and talk about money and adventures. A lot of times people, when they talk about financial services, they think in terms of, oh, a budget, I have to give up everything. That's why I try to talk to people about adventures, because I know what I wanted out of life. I wanted an adventure, and I got it. But unfortunately, I wasn't as good on the budget as I should have been. So Social Security is such an important part of our retirement income. It's important to discuss it and know your different options. So that's what we're going to do today. And first of all, I have to tell you that I am with Transamerica Financial Services. I am not an employee of Allianz. Allianz prepares this material. And there are lots of decisions to be made about Social Security, and we urge you to talk to your financial professional, your accountant, your lawyer, your planner, your everybody, your Social Security office, to help you understand the benefits and get the benefits that are the best for you in the long run. But you need help in these decisions, so figure out who can help you. A lot of people think that Social Security is just cut and dried. You go down and sign up. But there are many different options, and so those are some of the things that we're going to talk about today. So these are basically the 7 points that we're going to be talking about. A little bit on Medicare. We're going to talk more about when to start the benefits and how they're figured. Out. So while people are working, 36% of them think that Social Security will be a minor part of their retirement income. However, once people get retired, they find out that it is a major source of income. And so that's 68% of people who are retired find that Social Security income is a very important part. Now, Social Security is more than just retirement. There is survivor benefits, and there are benefits for disability. So how does the survivor benefits work? One of my friends was married. She had 2 children. She got a divorce, and her husband died after they were divorced. And she is able to collect survivor benefits. Her children are in high school now, but she's been able to collect survivor benefits to help her as a single mom. And I don't know if you remember, Paul Ryan was very active in getting the government on a budget, on a strict budget that made sense. Well, his father died when he was young, and he actually grew up on Social Security benefits, survivor benefits. And yet he was very active in adjusting the benefits for people. Disability. So we have a friend who is a blind lady, and one of the ways that Social Security helps people with disabilities, such as blindness, is they get disability benefits. Now I want you to look at these numbers. You can see that the average annual monthly amount for retired workers is $14.13. and the average amount for disability is $11.98. Now, there's one more number I want you to keep in mind. The highest amount of Social Security that's paid out monthly this year is $2,681. So if you think about that kind of a monthly income and then calculate your monthly living expenses, you can see that Social Security is probably not going to cover all of your living expenses, but it's going to be helpful. Now, how did this person get $2,681?
You work for the government.
That's a good possibility.
Well, I don't know if they work for the government or not, but they worked 35 years and they paid in the maximum amount the whole 35 years. They average your earnings over a 35-year time period. So let's talk about how women work. First of all, women are paid less. So they pay into Social Security less than men. Second of all, women stay home with the children. Many times they stay home taking care of parents. So they probably do not have 35 years of continuous employment.
At the highest benefit, right?
Yeah,
I have a question.
yeah.
Isn't the last 5 years really important in terms of benefits?
I have heard people say that, and I have asked about it, and Social Security says it's not important.
Wow.
The official
I disagree.
answer, the official answer is it's not important, but I do know people that had high pay the last 5 years, and their benefits did seem to be higher.
Yeah, I purposely went to full-time at Kaiser because I knew that my benefits would reflect better.
Well, that was smart. I kind of eased off the last 5 years, and I think that impacted my benefits. I don't know. But the official word is it's 35 years average. Okay? Another question that comes up is, will Social Security be there when you get there? If you're not retired, but you're looking for retired in 10, 15, or 20 years, will you have Social Security? Okay, the official calculation right now is by 2034, so what is that, 14, 15 years, the Social Security Trust Fund will be depleted. And at that time, they feel enough income will be coming in to pay out some benefit, 77% perhaps. Okay, I never know what to believe about that. I think the government is better than that, but maybe they're not.
They have used this as a scare tactic. They want to use our Social Security, and they've actually already used like the general fund, but they want to privatize it.
They want to privatize it, and countries that have privatized their Social Security benefits, the people have not done well because they've been very impacted by the market fluctuations. However, if you think about it, so let's say your average pay is going to be $2,000, and instead of getting $2,000, you're going to get 77% of that. So now you're looking at $1,400, $1,500.
Well, isn't it true that Social Security was never supposed to be all of your retirement?
Absolutely. The other thing that was true when Social Security started, is people died by the time they were getting their benefits. Who knew we were going to live to be 80 and 90 years old? Remember that average of $1,400 a month? That includes people that are getting $300 or $400 a month who are 80 and 90 years old. You know? Yeah, who knew we were going to live so long? So they no longer send out annual reviews on the Social Security, but every 5 years they send out a letter. Meanwhile, you can go on the Social Security website, set up your own account, and get your own personal information. And then they do send the letter out every 5 years. So step one in this process is to find out what your personal projected Social Security benefits will be as projected right now. Now that means that they think you're going to continue working at the same pace and the same wage. So it's not totally accurate, but it will give you an idea of what your benefits are. Remembering that the average is $1,400, the maximum this year is $2,600 a month. And remembering also that unless you live in a very reasonably priced community, those monthly payments are not going to cover your living expenses.
Don't live in the Silicon Valley.
And Silicon Valley is not a reasonably priced
And neither
community.
is the city and county of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Well, San Francisco, yeah.
The
Actually,
whole Bay Area is.
yeah.
They found one town in the valley, of course, where they estimated that a couple could live on Social Security benefits.
Wow.
Modesto, Merced,
You know, it was somewhere,
Turlock.
yeah, Turlock, somewhere like that.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
couple, though, not a person, a couple.
That's 2 incomes, yeah.
Well, I don't know if I'd want to move there.
You wouldn't be able to pay for your air conditioning. That's for sure. Well, like Patterson, I mean, you know, our friend has a beautiful home, and her mortgage is like a little over $1,000 a month. So she has to drive.
2 hours.
Yeah, but she has an off shift, so her estimation is that it takes her as long to do that round trip as it would if she lived locally and was in
Yeah.
traffic.
Yeah. Well, traffic has gotten so bad. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
and it's just getting worse. So,
Okay, so how do you qualify for benefits? Now, prior to 1977, you needed to work 10 years and have 40 credits. So you got 1 credit for each quarter that you worked. And so you had to accumulate 40 credits to qualify for Social Security benefits, regardless of the income that you paid. You had to pay into Social Security 40 credits. Since 1978, instead of thinking in terms of how long you've worked, they realize that we're in what's called a gig economy. People work various jobs for various lengths of time. So now they're basing it on how much you earn each year. So you can earn $1,360 and you get 1 credit. To get 4 credits, you have to earn $5,440. Now keep in mind that the average for 35 years defines what you're going to get in benefits, and $5,000 a year, $6,000 a year is not going to give you a large benefit. But that's how you qualify. So the important part on this is that you have to have the 40 credits. Now, how is it calculated? So here we are. PIA is primary insurance amount. So that's one part of it, that's the money part. Then FRA, full retirement age, that's when you can get your money and how it's calculated, how much you get. If you take your benefits prior to full retirement age, it's less. And if you wait until age 70, it's more. Okay. So here's the chart showing full retirement age. And, you know, it goes back to 1937, which I find is interesting because very few people, you know, I know that 1937 is over 80 years old. So most of the people are 1960 or later. So what this shows is your full retirement age and how much your benefits are reduced if you take your benefits at age 62.
That 1943 to 1954, is that considered baby boomers?
No, baby boomers are 43 actually to 60, to 60 or even 63 some people counted.
Well, it looks to me like Social Security.
Well, they realized they had a huge population moving into retirement benefits because of the huge baby boom in the after the war, after World War II.
Actually, you're right, because I have heard that they say baby boomers is like, it just is,
The silent generation, which is 35 to 45 roughly, is a very small generation because it was a depression and very
Right.
few people were having babies. And then
really interesting.
Then
So then after World War
everybody
II,
came home from the war. We won the war. We were on top of the world. Jobs were plentiful. People were making money, and everybody had 3, 4, 5, 6 babies. So this is a huge generation.
You know, a chicken in every pot and a car in every garage.
Yeah, or 2 cars in every garage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when they saw that coming, they said, you know what, we need to spread out the full retirement age a little bit. So that's how that happened. But you can see that if you take your benefits at age 62, it's going to be discounted regardless of what your age is.
I was so lucky. My retirement paid, the Kaiser retirement paid the amount that Social Security would start to pay at 66. So when I retired at 61 and 11 months, essentially, because I could not be 62. I knew the amount of money I was going to get for approximately the rest of my life.
Well, you're very fortunate.
Oh, I'm
You're
very
you're
fortunate.
one of the fortunate ones. Let's see. So why do people take their benefits at age 62? Working is hard. Some people it becomes physically difficult for them to work. Working is tiring mentally. So they get tired of working, going to the same job the same day and doing the same thing. They may become disabled. When the 2008 boom happened, a lot of people took their retirement at age 62. Early retirement, just to make ends meet and put groceries on the table. So there's a lot of reasons to take retirement benefits at age 62. If your family dies young, you might want to calculate that into it and see if it would be beneficial.
I think I actually knew somebody that figured if they waited till later that they wouldn't catch up? Now, I don't know if that's...
I'll show you, I have a chart on that. This is the chart. This is a very interesting chart. So the way this works is if you start at age 62, you can see that at age 70 you will have received $144,000. If you start at age 66, where most of the people are starting their Social Security benefits, you'll receive $96,000. And so then you go over to age 85. But the interesting column on this is age 80. Look at by age 80, regardless of when you start, it ends up being almost the same.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
But are you going to live to 80?
Well, that's the question. So, did people really take a huge cut at age 62? If they live to age 80, they're almost even. Now, of course, if you live to age 90, well, you have some additional benefits here. But there's one more thing about this. Remember that we're going to talk about this in a minute, prior to full retirement age, if you work, there are some cautions about that. You have to keep your income low. Okay, so the important part on this is to know your full retirement age, to know your family history, how long do you think you're going to live, and to know that perhaps by age 80 you'll be even, and maybe you have to rethink the whole concept of Social Security, and that's why there's a lot of decisions to be made. Working in retirement. Okay. Now, a friend of mine was so happy. Her husband died and she started getting some Social Security benefits. Her problems were solved. Okay. The next problem was that if she made over $17,640, she had to pay back Social Security or get reduced benefits. And then if you make above, so she had to constantly keep her earned income below $17,000. So what happens, that's why so many people are doing gig work, work here, work there, work for cash off the books with no benefits. So, but if your pay is between $17,000 and $46,000, then it's reduced $1 for every $2 you earn. If every dollar you make above $46,920, your pay is reduced $1 for every $3 you earn. And that's up to full retirement age. Now, once you reach full retirement age, that's no longer a factor. So you can earn as much as you want. You pay into Social Security. If you earn money, you pay into Social Security. And I think, I'll have to check that, but you have no reductions in your pay. So this is how it was for this lady. She retired at age 62, so she retired early. If she had retired at full retirement age, her benefit would have been $17,532. But she retired early, so her benefit was $12,711. So then she said she had a job offer after a year, so she went back to the job and earned $40,000. So remember that she had to pay back if she earned over $17,640. So the end result after earning the $40,000, paying back Social Security. Her net Social Security benefits for the year was $1,531. So what's the lesson here?
Don't work.
Either don't work, keep your pay under $17,000, or be prepared for the reduction in benefits.
But, yeah, I look at it and, hey, she made 40,000.
Yeah.
She did, get an extra 15,000.
1,500
Well, 1,500.
for a year. In a year, $100 a month. $125 a month.
I agree.
The point is you have to be careful. Taxation of benefits, okay? So,
But do you want to work? You're all about adventure, and I don't see, unless you're working on a cruise ship, or I don't see it work as an adventure. But some people so enjoy work
okay,
that
do you want to hear about my adventure dollars?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about adventure dollars. So yesterday I met with a client and we were going over, pay off the credit cards, save money, increase your return, all the basic things that we talk about. And at the end I said, what big adventure did you have this year? Did you go on a trip? Did you go to plays? Did you go out of town? What did you do this year? My husband is sick. We can't go out of town. However, I said, okay, so what do you want to do in the future? Well, we'd like to go to Washington, D.C. and see the space capsule because we missed that this year. I said, okay, so here's your adventure dollars, your adventure plan. You're going to open a special account and you're going to put $10 a month, whatever amount you can put right now, and every month you're going to say, this is my adventure budget, and we're going to go to Washington, D.C. in 2 years, and this is my adventure money. So that's how you have to think about it. Another client, I said, okay, so what have you done lately that's an adventure, that's kind of fun? Well, I went to a Shakespeare play. Okay, so how much was that? $30. I said, okay, so now you can take $30, an equal amount, put that in your adventure account. So that's how I look at it. Identify adventure that you like and enjoy and can plan for. So that's my whole adventure lecture. Well, maybe not all of it. That's the beginning of it!
More to come as adventures happen.
Okay, when they started Social Security, it was not taxed on the income tax, okay? So people got their benefits, they were not taxed, it was free money, yay-hoo. Okay, they fixed that. They taxed it. So now your Social Security is taxable under certain circumstances. And here it is. They have a unique way of figuring your income, your adjusted gross income, your non-taxable interest, and half of your Social Security, and that comes up with your combined income. If your combined income, and if you are single, is $25,000 or less, you don't pay income tax. Okay? If your income and you are single is between $25,000 and $34,000, up to 50% of your Social Security will be taxed. If you are single and your income is above $34,000, up to 85% of your Social Security can be taxed. Okay. If you're married, then the numbers are a little higher. So if your earnings are 44,000, based on this unique formula, then your Social Security will, 85% of your Social Security will be taxed, okay? As a regular tax rate. So if your regular tax rate is like 10%, 12%, 15%, that's how it will be figured. Okay, got it? The important part of that is that there is a chance that your Social Security will be taxed in the federal income tax every year when you do your tax return. All right, now, if you are married, this is really interesting. If you are married or are the parent of their child, you can claim benefits on your the qualifying spouse. Okay, so you know how so many people are having children and not getting married? Yeah, if they can prove that John Doe is the father, they can claim Social Security benefits. So that's a kind of a unique thing. If you're a stay-at-home mom, for example, or if your income, your Social Security is less than the amount you get with half your husband's benefits or your spouse's benefits, then you can qualify for that. So that benefits are available for spouses. Now, I would think everyone in the world would know that. But a friend of mine that I was talking to said, well, I'm getting my own Social Security. I said, your husband was a high-tech executive. You could get half of his. She said, really? Really? Without him knowing? Yes, without him knowing. Without not decreasing his benefits. So it'll make a huge difference in her life. Because you can take your own benefits, but if they're lower than the amount you get from your spouse's benefits, you can take your spouse's benefits.
That was one of the things about same-sex marriage. It was actually, I found out that when it came to the Affordable Care Act,
Yes.
if we had not married, Ronnie would have qualified. I wouldn't. But definitely being married, both of us did not qualify for the Affordable Care Act. And it's the same thing with...
So you're not, even though you're married, you're not a spouse? You're not considered a spouse?
No. What I'm saying is people did look at the Social Security, Medicare aspect of being single versus being married.
Oh, so same-sex couples consider Social Security and Medicare benefits married or single?
Yeah. The thing was that there were so many more benefits if you were married.
Yes.
But I also, my godfather...
Even in the same sex?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because when they passed that law, so in Social Security, you're a same-sex couple, you're married, you can go through the same benefit package, is that right?
Oh, yeah. We have all the rights that...
See, that's why I'm doing this, to learn these things, because I learn from my audience. I always learn. I thought that was true, but I'm glad to hear that.
And being a domestic partner, there was, well, I have 2 annuities. Now, with the domestic partner, no, I think it even there were a lot of things that being the domestic partner, going for getting annuities and
Yeah,
that,
was difficult.
yeah, it was.
So now that you're married, it's much easier.
But you know what was interesting is I just got a new annuity, and one of the things that I had chose that to get an income with that particular, and anyway, the whole thing was that my wife definitely had to sign, which now that I'm married, I don't realize. Anyway, when we were going for same-sex marriage, I was also doing a lot of retirements,
Yeah, and it made sense to be married.
well, my financial planner really learned a lot about the benefits, and it behooved him because his daughter was gay.
I see. Well, see, we're
He
all,
actually wrote an article about
we're all learning in this new world.
how much better financially it was to be married.
Okay, so there is a file and suspend thing. So the spouse can file for benefits. The other spouse can claim benefits. The first spouse can delay benefits.
I have a question.
Yeah, so there's that's difficult to do, but some people have found it helpful.
What if you're divorced and your ex marries?
Yeah, we're coming to that.
Oh, okay.
You're ahead of the slides here, girl.
Oh, I went backwards. That's what I did. Okay.
Not fair, they keep the
Survivors.
same picture.
Survivors. Okay, you can receive survivor benefits at age 60, and then you can transfer at age 62 to Social Security. For divorced spouse, ta-da! If you've been married for 10 years and you are divorced and have been for at least 2 years, and your ex-spouse is at least 62, the divorced spouse can claim, and the divorced spouse is at least 62, you can claim benefits. So that has helped a lot of single moms, you know, in retirement. So yeah, benefits are available. And now that women are making more money than men, in some cases, the men can get that benefit. So the key part to that whole section is that there are a lot of different options and choices about how and when to get Social Security benefits. And so you need help figuring it out. And if you're a same-sex couple, then there's questions about getting married or staying single, and that's true of everyone.
Yeah. Even if you're not same-sex. Yeah, I found it interesting because my coworker actually had been married before, and while she was working at Kaiser, she did domestic partnership. Well,
That's different than marriage.
Yep.
So the other thing to remember that widows, if one spouse dies, you can claim benefits on the ex-spouse, spouse or ex-spouse. So if Earl dies, I can claim my Social Security, or I can claim half of his. Mine is more than that, so I'll stay on mine. Medicare. Okay, this is really, really, really important. I didn't know how important this was. A lot of people have their full retirement age at age 66 and 67, and you must sign up for Medicare benefits at age 65. You can sign up 3 months early. If you don't sign up by age 65, you can be penalized, you can lose benefits, and it's really a problem. So be sure to mark your calendar, be sure to notify people that they must sign up for Medicare at age 65. Now there's a really nice chart that shows all of this. Part A is the hospital, Part B is medical, Part C is Medicare Advantage, and D is drug.
So what's the donut that they talk about, the donut hole?
Yeah, so this chart shows this really well. So the original Medicare was Part A and Part B, and that's largely hospital, and Part B is doctor's appointments, and it does not cover long-term care. Very little nursing home care is covered by that. So if you're going to need long-term care, you have to think ahead and provide somehow for it. Part C, that hospitalization and doctors are all rolled into one, and that's what the Kaiser plan offers, for example.
Except a Kaiser employee that gets Medicare through Kaiser doesn't get
Medicare Advantage?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so Part D is the prescription drugs. And your prescription drugs are covered to a certain dollar amount. And you know what? I'm not
That's the donut hole.
Yeah, and then they're not covered for a while. I need to find out those numbers, huh?
Yeah.
It's pretty high.
I mean, I'm Kaiser, so.
But the biggie thing, and really, I have a friend that is refusing to start Medicare. And she just says, hey, if I stay with...
Is she poor?
Well, at this point she is.
Well, then she can be covered through...
And that's exactly why she's not doing it. Because she had to pay more if she went with Medicare versus just staying on...
Was it Medi-Cal or what?
Medi-Cal.
Yeah.
And at this point in her life, her income is so low. She married, divorced, you know, the working years that she didn't work. But she owned her own business. And anyway, her income is just, she can't.
I will tell you, okay, Medigap is a kind of insurance that kind of helps you cover some of the parts that are missing in the original Medicare.
Yeah, but you have to have enough money to have a roof over your head and feed yourself.
So I will tell you that Medicare does not cover dental.
Oh yeah, I know.
It does not cover vision. It does not cover long-term care. And the coverage on medications, I forget, I thought it was $25,000 a year per person. And then it drops off. I don't know if they fixed that or not. I'll have to find that out. But think of, first of all, there are dental plans available that are offered. I haven't found them to be very helpful. The vision plans that are offered are quite good and helpful. Old people have dental problems, their teeth wear out, and dentists are extremely expensive. So take care of your teeth, brush your teeth, floss, go to the dentist, stay up with it. Because I can show you my $1,000 tooth and I can show you my $2,000 tooth, you know.
Actually, I got those too.
Yeah, yeah. People have no concept of that implants are the way that they like to help you.
My mouth is full of crowns.
Yeah, crowns. That is all expensive. All right, so the important part of this, of Medicare, it's not free. Part C, we pay $53 a month per person, separate. We pay, some part of Medicare is deducted from our Social Security check, and I think that I'm going to say about $98 a month, something like that. So it's
Mine is like 112, or
112.
I think.
Yeah. It's not free, but it's very good coverage. My husband and I have both had serious illnesses and have been cared for very well through Medicare. We are fortunate that we only have 2 prescriptions between us, you know, so prescription drugs is not an issue. So we're fortunate that way. The other important part is sign up by age 65.
Really, really important.
Yeah. Okay. So these are some of the things we discussed. Which always expands and amazes me.
You know, actually, I wish that I had this kind of seminar before retirement. But they also, being part of the baby boomer group, they did a lot of catch up. You know, the 401ks really gave. I was doing 20% of my income, and then they give you another catch up. Anyway, it was going
Yeah.
to.
Well, you took advantage. First of all, you were aware, and it sounds like you took advantage of educational opportunities.
Oh, I did.
So what I do as an investment advisor representative is evaluate your current situation, including the adventures that you like, that you are having right now, and then we look at what you need in the future and how we can continue a life with adventure. The biggest fear that people have once they retire is running out of money. Am I going to outlive my money? So that's part of our whole program, is helping you understand how much money you need and thinking about how long you're going to live and how your living expenses are. But for me personally, I also think it's really important to build in a fun factor, because, you know, just living and breathing isn't my idea of a valuable life. So what I strive to construct and activate for my clients is a plan for fun, as well as feeling secure about, so you don't wake up in the middle of the night and say, am I going to run out of money? My mom used to say, I have to die. Really, why do you have to die? I don't have enough money, I have to die. So we'd go through the math. So if you think you have to die, call me and we'll go through the math. And actually, my mother got married at age 85, and she was married for 1 year, and she was able to claim his Social Security because they were married for 1 year, and his Social Security was much more generous than my father's. So we love Fritz. We remember Fritz with great fondness.
So what was the deal about having to be married 10 years?
If you're divorced,
Oh, you had to have been married 10
you
years.
have to have been married 10 years.
Okay, got it.
But if you're married and your spouse dies, it's 1 year. So she prayed for him to stay alive.
My dad
In earnest, yeah.
actually did a perfect thing. He died May 2nd. So my stepmom actually got his benefits for the month of May.
Oh, the other thing is, when
At the beginning of the month?
when people die, your benefits are gone. You
Right,
know,
right.
The minute they die and it's reported. I read about, this is kind of scary, but I read about this woman that lived with her dead mother for 3 years, and I wondered if that was getting their Social Security
Yeah.
benefits.
Oh,
Why else? Well, maybe she loved her. But
I knew of, I used to go out home care with the machines for people with COPD.
Right.
There was a medical supply company that had all these people that had died, but they kept them on.
Oxygen.
No, they kept them on the billing.
Oh, they kept
And
billing
they
them.
were making claims to Medicare, and of course, back when I'm talking about, he got away with it for I don't know how long. It was his own employee that actually turned him in, and she actually started her own medical supply business.
well, I mean, it is.
Okay, well, thank you very much for being here today. If you have a further question about Social Security benefits, how much money you need to retire, how much money you need for fun, let's get together and talk. So thank you for being here today.
Round of applause.
So was your mother kind of